Looking Glass was born around 1832. He was the son of a prominent Nez Perce chief named Flint Necklace. He grew up learning the ways of his people. Like other young Nez Perce men, he roamed the lands near Clearwater River, which is now western Idaho. Like those before him, he hunted the buffalo across those northern Great Plains. Looking Glass stood over 6 feet tall as a young man and quickly became known for his strength and skill as both hunter and warrior. But Looking Glass gained respect among the Nez Perce for his military talent and leadership abilities. He became the recognized leader of his band, arguing at tribal councils for resolving conflicts through discussion rather than violence. Looking Glass was no coward, and he was bitterly opposed to the loss of native land. But he was a strategic thinker, and he knew that the Nez Perce were vastly outnumbered by the whites, whose wagons were streaming by daily. So when U.S. General Isaac Stevens arrived in 1855 intent on securing land for a transcontinental railway, Looking Glass encouraged negotiation. Many of the 56 bands were ready to fight, angry at the idea of reservation existence. But leaders like Looking Glass pushed hard for concessions. After a week-long council, leaders agreed to cede borderland in exchange for industry, schools, and a hospital. The Nez Perce also held on to ancestral sites and the sovereign right to hunt and fish without limit. For more than 20 years, the Treaty of 1855 held with little incident. But several Nez Perce were killed in an altercation with settlers in 1877, and in retaliation, some bands began attacking settlements and travelers. Looking Glass continued urging restraint until an unprovoked army attack on his camp changed his mind. Many of the Nez Perce tried to flee the army and make their way to Canada. Looking Glass was put in charge of protecting the retreat of women, children, and elderly of the tribe. His leadership and familiarity with the buffalo country to the east during this period saved countless lives. In late September 1877, the Nez Perce stopped to rest in northern Montana, not far from the Canadian border. On October 5th, Army forces trapped the camp and what's now known as the Battle of Bear Paw began. While fighting from a rifle pit he had dug on a hillside, Looking Glass was struck by a bullet. He did not survive the wound and died that same day. Though he did not live to see his people reach lasting refuge, his courage is still celebrated today.